What is up, guys? Welcome to the No Face Crypto channel. What is up, it's a new case? You feel me? And it's not going to be an easy video today, guys. I'm not going to lie. There is World War III breaking out as we speak. And unfortunately, it is my duty to cover it because it's the only news that matters right now. But before we move forward, obviously, there are some things we need to address in this video. And so first, we must address how to actually see the yield be generated on your FXRP account in Zaman. That is very important. And then we can kind of talk about whatever we want to talk about, right? Because, all right, let me just finish off the last video and we'll get into the bullshit. This is just crazy, guys. Okay, first things first. So this is going to be very easy. So just pay attention very quickly here and we can move on to what's actually important. But if you guys are invested into this FXRP smart account for Zaman, when you get your yields, right, it might show up here, but I'm going to show you guys where to go to actually see every transaction that is happening on your wallet. Even if you guys see my address, I don't really care. You're not going to do shit, or you're not going to be able to go ahead and try and hack it. I dare you. All right, so we'll go to magnetic DEX. What you guys need to do here is go to click on the magnetic DEX, and then in your bottom right corner, you're going to see your wallet address. Click this wallet address, and then you can go to view wallet. Now, what happens here is you're going to see basically the statistics of your wallet. You could either do that, which these are pretty skewed and messed up, so don't even try looking at this. But what's important here is you can check the history of your wallet as well. And this is where you will see payments from this kind of pool, the FXRP Smart Account. We should be expecting payments on the right-hand side here in Earn XRP. They should kind of stack on with what we already put in here. We should be able to withdraw into XRP at the end of all of this. Now, it's going to take about a week or two, a little bit of time for me to kind of discover what's really going on here. But that is what I am expecting, ladies and gentlemen. It is as simple as that. And so now we have covered that. Just one more time, go to the magnetic DEX. Once you are in the magnetic DEX, all right, on Zaman, go to the bottom right-hand corner, click your wallet, view your wallet, and click your history, and you will be able to see every transaction that happens ever. So if you were to receive payouts, you should be seeing them here, and they should be coming from, the wallet that you essentially received a test transaction from right here. So with that being said, that should pretty much cover it. I will update you guys again in about a week for Zaman and for this whole program and stuff like that. But very important stuff to talk about right now. And this kind of has to take a back seat. Not really, because I promise you guys that all the war and all this stuff that is going on, it is going to play out. And it does have a lot to do with the new financial system, as crazy as that sounds. So this is just a little taste of fully decentralized DeFi in a way for you, yourself, and you. And I think that is something that should be celebrated, looked at, and essentially why this doesn't matter for the Clarity Act. We can address that again in a later video, but why this doesn't matter for the Clarity Act is for one specific reason, right? The Clarity Act targeted stablecoin yields for DeFi platforms and required KYC, basically. Now, these were I forget the exact term, but these DeFi platforms, basically Zaman does not fall under the category that they were targeting. And so when it comes to stablecoins, you could just take a RLUSD and throw it into a pool and do DeFi on Zaman wallet with RLUSD. Nothing's stopping you from taking RLUSD there and doing that. So we should see what happens really with the Clarity Act as time goes on. But ladies and gentlemen, it is not too much to think about, right? Big things are coming, and you will be able to earn yield off of your stable coin, earn yield off your XRP, earn yield off of this, that, the other. Like, don't let them try and scare you off this Clarity Act, because it's about the platform that you are doing this on. It's not about the asset that you're holding, even though the asset's going to be very important, right? Zaman is one of the only non-KYC, fully decentralized, fully non-custodial, custodial wallets that you have in crypto right now. All right, they are your keys. They are not Zaman's. So that's why it's very important to look into. We'll see what happens with the Clarity Act, and we will update later. But right now, let's get back to what is very important. Thank you guys for listening. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. Like, I'm completely flustered right now. Right? I mean, we all knew this was coming, but I woke up this morning, very, very early morning, and you guys can go ahead and just look at the post on YouTube yourself. Here you go. I'll pull it up very quickly here, but you know, it's sickening what's happening right now, and I don't support any war that Israel supports, and all I can say here is, I mean, I don't care. I feel like Trump is completely captured. I mean, that's just my opinion. I think anyone right now who's head of the United States is captured, and so we should not have any. We don't need to be going to war with anybody. All right, there's still homeless. There's millions of homeless people in our country. There's all these problems, and the idea that we can just go in, do regime change over and over, and that nothing bad is going to happen is completely ridiculous, guys. And I want to let everyone know that right now. This is not over. This is far from over. And as we speak, as I am saying these words right now, they are manipulating the masses to think that, all right, Iran, go ahead and storm the streets. You're good to go. Take over your government. Go ahead, get in the streets, feel safe. All right, Iran is sending dozens of missiles out to Israel as we speak right now. Explosions everywhere. The Strait of Hormuz is closed. Oil prices are spiking. Gold prices are spiking. Even crypto prices are kind of spiking right now. It's ridiculous. But let's just go ahead and we'll start with, Trump's announcement, and then we'll go to the UK announcement. We'll go to Israel's announcement, basically, and essentially, I'll just kind of let you guys know what's happened up to this point. But basically, Iran has struck 8 countries in one night. I believe Syria is one. The UAE is another one. Dubai is another one. They got and they got a few other ones for sure. They've also have been striking Tel Aviv as well. So it's all over the place, guys, and I can't really keep track for you. But I have been listening to a pretty informative spaces all day with people in the military, former Green Berets, former submarine warfare experts, etc. And basically, here is the word that I'm getting. We're gonna break this all down. I'm trying to figure out how to start this. Maybe we'll start with the 4chan post. But essentially, the word is that Israel, as we know, got us into this conflict and basically said, hey, we have the location of the head of Iran, and we're going to need you to fuck them up, or we're going to use our nukes, or release more of the Epstein files, etc., etc. And so we did that. I believe the head of Iran is now dead. But we all know this has always been Israel's goal. And we're going around, we're seeing people dance and fucking in bunkers, in Israel. This is absolutely ridiculous. So let me just take you down my line of thinking real quick, and I'll make this video pretty informative to just what I've kind of witnessed today. I want this video to, I want maybe my kid one day to come back to this video and just know that, like, yes, in real time, I am witnessing a possible World War III breakout, and I want to let everyone watching this know. Like, I am very aware they are manipulating the entire masses, and I ain't one of them. I am not one of them. And so we're going to go ahead and speak on this objectively. Let's start with the 4chan post. I appreciate your patience with this video, guys. This is a very pivotal moment in world history, and we'll get to the monetary system at the end of the video. So they're going to say in mainstream media that this is a crazy attack, etc. I just want to let everybody know that the United States and Israel together decided to bomb 3 schools and kill 200 young children with no remorse for human life, and that is just a fact. And I'm sorry, but that is just the truth. We'll get into that in just a second. But using a $200 drone, Iran, maybe not $200, but using a very cheap drone, Iran went ahead and destroyed a $1 billion radar system for the United States. And, well, they're going to be like, this is a massive threat, et cetera, et cetera. Keep in mind that Trump cleared out basically every American citizen in Iran days before this happened, guys. So This was this is just absolutely this. I don't even know where to start with this. Okay, and obviously, another one of the main issues here, guys, is the propaganda. Right, this guy's got an American and an Iranian flag in his bio. All right, the school in Minab City was hit by an Iran missile and not a U.S. or Israeli missile. Interesting. So basically, right, we struck first. This is exactly what happened. And so let me just shut up. I'll go ahead and get you to listen to President Trump, who is currently running an operation out of Mar-a-Lago, a full-on military operation out of Mar-a-Lago. All right. This should end well. Tel Aviv is also on fire, but we're going to get to all this shit. I'm all over the place. This is just ridiculous, guys.
All ships, attention all ships. This is Sepah Navy, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy. From now on, all navigating through the Strait of Hormuz is forbidden. No ship in every type is not allowed to pass from the Strait of Hormuz till next notice. This is Sepah Navy, out.
We have another port that was completely attacked. Blaze continues at Dubai's Jebel Ali port after debris from a missile intercept sets sections of the site on fire.
Damn!
We have footage of Iran getting struck as well, but we also have footage of U.S. defense missile systems going over Qatar, defending Qatar as well from Iran missiles as well. Basically, they are attacking U.S. military bases on foreign land. Things getting a little crazy, guys, but watch this. This is wild.
Fuck yeah!
Something else that stood out, guys, is allegedly the orb of judgment seen over Karaj, Iran, was the first thing the Iranians saw before Tomahawk missiles started raining down on them. Guys, three schools were struck in Iran. I mean, just absolutely horrific. This is true. All right. I don't know what this orb is, but if anyone can let me know. Maybe that's the fucking sun. We also now have news that Israel's Iron Dome has been breached. Missiles from Iran are landing at 95% accuracy. Obviously, that is crap. That is cap. Okay, that did not happen. But I have heard that the Iron Dome is weakened, and all of the air defense systems for Iran are also weakened as well. Let's go ahead and get into some of the footage of Tel Aviv getting smoked. Unfortunately, Iranian missiles have fallen in Tel Aviv and its surroundings. Let's just go ahead and take a quick look for you guys. Now, Israel has went ahead and put out and let all their citizens know they are to be arrested in 5 years jail time if they are to post any videos of missiles coming down. I'm not even joking, guys. This is Tel Aviv. And so, guys, I believe we may be looking at a war of biblical prophecies. And I think this is a good time to go ahead and bring in the Freemasons' Third World War strategy. Unfortunately, but yeah, not too good. We also have the UK coming in and joining the war as well.
בשרפה על הגג ובסריקה במבנה. עד כאן.
שלם עולה באש! אוטובוס שלם עולה באש! מכוניות, אנשים!
רגע.
And the Israelis. I think that's what the calculation now is. Regime preservation. Could you get a more pragmatic figure presiding over this regime? Sure.
Aaron, I just want to break in for a moment because we're looking at.
And Israel struck targets in Iran. Iran has since launched indiscriminate strikes across the region. I know the British people and communities across our country will be deeply concerned about what this means for security and stability, and for the fate of innocent people across the region, which for so many of us includes friends and family members. So whilst the situation is evolving very quickly, I want to set out our response. The United Kingdom played no role in these strikes, but we have long been clear the regime in Iran is utterly abhorrent. They have murdered thousands of their own people, brutally crushed dissent, and sought to destabilize the region. Even in the United Kingdom, the Iranian regime poses a direct threat to dissidents and to the Jewish community. Over the last year alone, they have backed more than 20 potentially lethal attacks on UK soil.
Propaganda.
So it is
IDF.
clear they must never be allowed to develop a nuclear weapon.
Been saying it since 1995.
That remains the primary aim of the United Kingdom and our allies, including the US. I condemn Iran's attacks today on partners across the region, many of which are not parties to this conflict. We extend our support and solidarity to them as part of our commitments to the security of our allies in the Middle East. We have a range of defensive capabilities in the region, which we've recently strengthened. Our forces are active, and British planes are in the sky today.
No one else will say it, so I'll say it. Bro can't even speak 2 minutes without mentioning the word Jew. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, who are we really fighting for, guys? Who are we paying taxes for? And when is it time that we get out in the streets? You guys let me know, and I will meet you there. I will be there. I'm already cooking up, and I can't say too much because I don't want to end up on a list. You feel me? But you got me fucked up if you think I'm finna watch this just go down. Nah. We still got the Epstein files to worry about. And that's another thing. This is one big distraction, guys. Disgusting. Let's go ahead and play Boom Boom Tel Aviv and go talk about what this actually means, what it's distracting from, right? What the real goal, what I think the real goal is, right?
Skyline lit, and you cry victim and say you didn't start this, but the whole world sees that your lies are
make it very clear here too, just for the history books, right? I want to make sure I get history right. We partnered with Israel to do this, guys. The United States partnered with Israel to strike Iran. That's exactly what happened. And notice how instead of Iran retaliating and fighting us, right, which may happen, maybe some sleeper cells will get activated. I'm not sure. They go ahead and go straight for Tel Aviv and go straight for Israel and go straight for Jerusalem. Isn't it interesting? Right? If we were the real problem, wouldn't they go for us first? So who do you think is controlling our government? Because I don't think Trump really wanted to go ahead and strike Iran. I think we know what's going on here. Ridiculous. The quickest way for me to show you guys what has been going on, right, is I can just slowly scroll through this account. You can see, right, Dubai, Jebel Ali port is completely cooked right now. Bahrain International Airport has just been hit by Iranian drone strike. We've got Tel Aviv missile strikes. Tourists in Dubai are seeking shelter in basements. We had Pete Hegseth come out and basically he commenced the most lethal and precise air operation in history, Operation Epic Fury. And obviously, I want to let everyone know, like, we are referring to this as Operation Epstein Fury, because that is what this is. This is not Epic. This is Epstein Fury. All right. We know you guys are still covering up the files. Let's not forget. All right. You guys just released a second batch, and then you go ahead and start a war. Ridiculous. More missile strikes are hitting Bahrain right now, or Bahrain. Yeah, it's getting ridiculous, guys. They're shooting missiles right past the Burj Khalifa. And we can go ahead and just see what the alerts look like across Israel. Absolutely ridiculous, guys. UK streamer Bouncer reacts to Iranian bombing of Dubai and shows where he is hiding. They're going into hiding. Things are ridiculous. And then just to throw the icing on the cake, guys, the new Charlie Kirk show claims that Charlie Kirk would have supported a war with
pray for our success once that began. And I just want to say that to offer perspective on how I think he would have felt about this. And that's not to use.
Shut the fuck up. All right. Then we got massive traffic jams in Tel Aviv after Israel's are fleeing, fearing Iranian missiles. Now you guys are fleeing. Now I'm going to show you guys what Israel is actually doing right now. Obviously, Khamenei has died, and they posted this post here. These motherfuckers mean war, basically. And let me just show you guys how Israel is reacting about all this. All right, because in their perspective, they dragged us into a foreign war. And, well, World War III is going to happen, and I'm sure they are excited about that. So let's just go ahead and check in with the Israelis. Let's just see how they're doing. While everyone's freaking out, let's see what they're doing right now. I hope they're not, like, dancing or anything. That would be crazy if they were, like, dancing or something, like it was, like, 9/11. There's just no way, right? It's at the point where I don't care if I get 1, 2, 3, 4 views. It doesn't matter, right? They're dancing on us, guys. They're dancing on us. The same shit they did to us on 9/11 when they said, oh my God, this guy's passport fell out of the fucking plane and somehow the passport survived and didn't. What bullshit. What weapons of mass destruction, the same thing since 1995. I mean, eventually you can't fool anyone, and they know that. They know they can't, and that's why they need to do this now. World War III has to be now for them. They don't have a choice, right? let's go ahead and take a look at Bibi saying weapons of mass destruction for 30 years. And then after that, well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I might even go live. I might crash out. I'm not sure.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly if they wanted to do it.
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb. Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a decade. Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
If not stopped.
I think he set up the narrative that he needs to take back to the American people, whatever happens. And so I read that tweet as, I mean, this is going to be crazy if he says he's dead and he's not dead.
Yeah, and you know what? So initially there was a couple of interviews where he was asked if he's dead, and he dodged the question, right? And this is after a statement was released saying, "Oh yeah, Netanyahu's in the pictures," and then he showed Trump the pictures, and Trump's in the pictures. So then when he was asked about it on interview in these interviews, he was like, I can't remember, but like verbatim, but just I'm paraphrasing, like, you know, are the rumors true that Khamenei's been killed? And his response was something like, we did a really good job. You know, we're going to make sure that nobody can ever be threatened by Iran. Something like that, you know, completely dodging it. Really, like, what kind of response is that to that question? So that's what he said verbally. And then this came out in writing, right? So I'm even suspicious to think, is somebody else writing these posts for him? But you're right, it's there in writing, black and white. I just think if the pictures were out there, Netanyahu is the kind of thick guy that would put them out there. Do you know what I mean? To like put them in people's faces saying, this was your supreme leader, look at here. Like they did with Yahya Sinwar, for example. I don't know, Simon. And I'm not asking you if you think it's true, like just on point, but also what the scenario would be if it was not true. Where would they go? So, like strategically. But Nathan, I see your hands up. Go ahead, dear.
Yeah. So reports are stating that U.S. airstrikes have targeted the riot police headquarters in Tehran. So it seems that they're trying to disrupt the security apparatus so that the government can't even maintain law and order. That's very sick and cynical, to be honest. But anyways, nothing else. I mean, I wouldn't expect nonetheless from Donald Trump. Also, there's reports that the large-scale U.S.-Israeli attacks on Tehran are allegedly assassination attacks. And then also there are reports of airstrikes in Karaj, just west of Tehran.
Now, look, guys, I want to quickly summarize here how the monetary system is going to go ahead and play into this, how crypto is going to go ahead and play into this. And I'm going to let Verson kind of explain that a little bit. But basically, guys, we need a black swan event. We need some crazy shit to happen for an entire population of people to want to switch to a new monetary system and to widely adopt it. And when the whole world is in chaos, when your money can't buy anything anymore and there's terrorist attacks on every land possible, I think that's probably a good time to introduce their new one world system. Not sure. Things are going to get crazy, guys, and I do know that for a fact. And if you're in the right assets, you're positioned correctly. That's all I have to say. I'm not going to go ahead and make it sound complicated, right? Let's go ahead and connect the monetary system to this, guys. This shit is getting ugly. It's getting wild, guys.
Welcome back to another episode of the Black Swan Capitalist YouTube channel. I tried my best to get David and Edo to join me today. I think today represents a historic moment, and I couldn't sleep last night. I felt like the urge and need to do another podcast. This is the first time I'm doing a podcast by myself in a very long time. And I just feel like it's necessary to talk about these things. I'm tired of bottling up my feelings about the markets to a degree that I don't share with most people. When we do these podcasts, it's the three of us talking and we go back and forth. And I like to bounce ideas off people, but today I do want to give you a little more of an unfiltered take about what we're seeing in the world today. The reset that we're going to talk about is being driven by war. We're going to talk about how the global conflicts that we see happening in the world are simply shaping money and the world that we live in today. If we look a little bit through history, even, we start to see that wars have never really been about territory or ideology. And they are fundamentally much deeper. I really think it's about the control over resources, not just currencies, but currencies as well, global power structures. And that's why every major conflict in modern history that we've seen so far has simply rewritten the financial system in some way, form, or fashion. It's rewritten and redistributed power, influence, and even liquidity, which is something we'll get into later on. World War I destabilized the
All wars are bankers' wars.
empire and currencies. World War II, we saw the bringing of the new Bretton Woods system, and that established the United States dollar as the global reserve currency. And shortly after that, when they realized that gold gave freedom to people, we had the Nixon shock of 1971, which ended the dollar gold convertibility standard. And I think that's really another turning point in history that really allowed the expansion of this debt-based global financial system, where wars are the reason to accelerate a lot of these resets. Even the pandemic was a war, a different kind of war, though more spiritual, I would say. They used that as a mechanism to create massive amounts of debt. It created and translated into more inflation. We saw liquidity shocks in 2019 before the pandemic. So they used the pandemic as a crisis to justify all the endless spending that we've seen. If I'm not mistaken, we are now at $40 trillion, something along those lines. And all these wars that we see happening are really mechanisms to force nations to reconsider their dependence on, I would say, a single currency or a financial infrastructure, in this scenario, the United States dollar and the Western Israeli political hegemony status. So we won't get into too much detail over there because it's that dangerous. But the thing is, when currencies are weaponized, and that's what we've seen through the sanctions, through trade restrictions, political leverage, countries have no choice. They're forced to seek alternatives. And the traditional banking systems become very vulnerable, and we're already seeing those cracks. I think we had our first bank failure of 2026 in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. But our banking system is vulnerable. Our financial system is, our infrastructure. In fact, our electric grid is very vulnerable right now. And with everything going on, we could see all kinds of scenarios unfold. I would tell you they have these cards ready to go. It's just which one are they going to pull out on us? And that's going to tie into something deeper I do want to talk to you about here in a moment. But overall, where I'm going with this is just that the traditional infrastructure that we have is now vulnerable, and even the correspondent banking networks, we see them now as choke points, you could say. In other words, where liquidity is being trapped. And in most cases, this does become a national security issue for so many countries out there. Now, to go a bit deep.
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and render the video. You feel me? I think you guys pretty much get the point, right? A lot of crazy geopolitics going on right now. And I think if there is a time to go live, it's probably right now. If there's a time to remove the 500 subscribers, I'm hard stuck at 3 something. And I know it's just because of the algorithm and the bullshit. I know. So maybe I'll go ahead and try live. I don't know. Right. But we're going to go ahead and lock out the video. You feel me? Everyone lock in there. Right. This is a little bit more of a serious video, and we'll get back to the regular scheduled program soon. But my goodness, guys, like shit is getting crazy.
I'm the cipher inside the system, encrypted rhythm, algorithmic wisdom. Bankers panic when I twist the prism, cause I decentralize the mechanism. Ledger lock, my code immaculate. Truth so sharp it decapitates. No fiat faith, lie emancipate. XRP flow, recalibrate. Invisible king with a digital throne. Phantom of finance, flesh and bone. I rise from day to self-made, self-known. Unshaken, I move in the zone. They manipulate, I meditate. They inflate, I innovate. They speculate, I educate. I'm the glitch they can't eliminate. Low-res crypto, masked in motion, riding the wave like quantum motion. XRP devotion, pure explosion. Phantom of finance, fully roasted. Crypto, chain reaction, breaking control, pure satisfaction. No middleman, just interaction. Rebel of rhythm, blockchain faction. From Tokyo ticks to London trades, my name echoes in crypto raids. I'm the anomaly markets crave, silhouetted in code, I misbehave. Monetary matrix, I override. Quantum ink where the truth can't hide. They kneel to debt, I walk with pride. No face crypto, decentralized guide. Every drop of fun, I distill the flame. Every smear campaign fuels the game. They'll remember the ghost, not the name. Cause legends don't chase, they claim. Go, ledger ignite. Phantom in flight. Mag so bright. Can't see me, but feel my mind. No face trickle, phantom protocol. Standing tall while empires fall. Central chains can't cage it all. Unshaken faith, I break the wall. No face trickle, though immortal. Through digital doors, I breach the portal. Untraceable force, transtemporal. Phantom of finance, suiting and racks. No face trickle. No banks, no borders, no masters. Just vision and velocity. The world's asleep, but the phantom never rests street.